Alexis, I have to go on another business trip next month.
I see. I hope you have fun. Can you tell me how many days you'll have to be away for this time?
This time it's not how many days, but how many months. And this time, I'll have to be away for 3 whole months.
What? You'll be gone for 3 months? This time things must be pretty serious, right?
That's what it's sounding like. I wonder what I should do about this, though. I think the best choice right now is for me to tell them I can't go and stay here, right?
But they asked you to take that trip for them because they want you on the job, right? I think your only option this time is to go away for 3 months.
I get that they want me to go, but I don't want to be away from Abby for 3 whole months.
What are you going on about, Felix? I get that you're really in love with your little girl, but you also have to be in love with your work, so take that trip and be happy they trust you with it.
Recently, Abby has been getting into things like fashion, right? And just the other day she was saying how she wants to start doing makeup. If I'm away from you guys for 3 months, she's going to be a completely different person when I come back home.
She's not going to be any different from the way you left her when you come back. She's still your little girl, and she always will be, so don't worry about a thing.
But when it comes to girls her age, they begin to grow up really fast, right?
I am very well aware of that, being a girl myself. She's in 3rd grade now, and there are all sorts of things going on that are beginning to pique her interests. But no matter if she begins to dress up or do her makeup, she's always going to be your little Abby, all right?
I know that, but really I'm just not wanting to be away from her for 3 months.
I will say them asking you to be away for 3 months is quite a surprise. But I'm sure it'll all fly by in an instant and you'll be right back here with us. And be thankful they're not asking you to change offices or something like that requiring you to move.
I would never allow them to move me away from you guys. And if they really did need me to go to another location, I'd be taking you 2 with me to a new house.
I don't mind having to move out of this house and this town. But having to change schools would be a whole lot of stress for Abby, would it not? So far, she's been having all kinds of fun going to her school and seeing her friends, right? She's never had any problems with anyone at that school, and she's even seen as a good child by all the other parents in the neighborhood. I think we live in a really good place right now where our daughter will always be happy.
And I'm very aware of that as well. But what if they really do ask me to change locations soon?
As long as you make yourself clear about how you want to make your daughter happy, nobody in that company will be able to move you.
I guess I'll have to work on being more forward with everyone. Anyway, we need to get back to talking about this super long business trip. I think I really should tell my boss that I can't go. I don't have any desire to go on that trip when the both of you are here.
How much would you be getting paid to go?
I'd be making my base pay with a bit extra.
Like last time? So an extra $25 on top of your hourly? Meaning by the end of 1 month, you'll get an extra $2,200, right? All right, you have to go on that trip now, Felix.
Oh, so this is about the money then?
Having extra money is very important for young couples, right? What does 3 months really matter to you when you're making that much on top of your monthly pay? I'm sure once you start seeing that extra money coming into your bank account, you'll be happy with the choice you made. And when you get home, let's all go on vacation to somewhere nice.
For some reason, it sounds like you're going to enjoy me being gone.
I most certainly will not. So far, the longest business trip you've had to be away for was 3 days, and now I'm having to face you being gone for 3 whole entire months? Things like cleaning the house, cooking food, and taking care of Abby will all be left up to me. I also happen to be working a part-time job too, right? I'm going to be so busy that I'll be crying for you to come back home.
I'm sorry about that.
But as long as after those 3 months you take Abby and I somewhere warm, I'll make sure to do my best. I'm sure we won't be getting enough to go overseas or anything, but we can definitely go somewhere nice within the US, right? And when I say nice, I mean fancy.
Well, as long as we don't overspend on the trip, we can go somewhere fancy. It's not like we've really gone on vacation recently anyway.
That's totally right, Felix. I would like it if we started to take trips like this a little bit more often together. As a family, of course. Now that I think about it, we haven't gone out as a family at all this year.
Hey, now that isn't all my fault, okay? You decided to start taking shifts on Saturday and Sunday, limiting our time together.
But at least with this place, I'm able to take days off when Abby's sick and not be scolded for it. So please, be a bit more open-minded about me working on the weekends.
Well, I suppose that's all true. But just make sure that this next time when we plan out a vacation, you take all those days off in advance.
I'll make sure to let my boss know ahead of time this time around. I'll make sure to take on a few extra shifts even so that I'm on his good side.
I do have one thing, though, and that's that I really want to put some of this money into our savings. It can be put towards things like our retirement or Abby's schooling in the future.
I'm making extra money every month with my job, so you don't have to worry about our savings. Now let's just focus on having some fun, for crying out loud. I would like to take a fancy vacation out to somewhere warm and tropical.
I suppose you're right. You've been bringing in quite a bit of extra money with your job, so we should be all right. And after these 3 months of having to be a single parent, you'll be needing a relaxing vacation. And I'm betting Abby will be needing one too, since she'll be missing me.
Then make sure to take that business trip and earn us the money we need for our vacation. Now, we need to start thinking about what all needs to be prepared by next month before you leave.
This weekend, let's go out shopping for groceries and things you'll both need together. I'd like to have all that stuff in the house for you before I go, because things will become pretty busy for you once I'm out of here.
I'm sorry, Felix. This weekend I'm having to work all day on both Saturday and Sunday.
I see. All right then I'll go with Abby to the supercenter and pick up whatever you need.
All right, that sounds good to me. I'll make sure to take time off the day you leave so that I can be with you to say goodbye. And the same thing for the day you come back so that I can make sure to be home to make up all your favorite dishes.
Alexis, have you still not taken a look at your phone? I thought today we made plans to video call one another. Hello? I've been waiting an hour now to call.
Felix, I am so sorry. I totally forgot about the plans we made for today.
Come on now, Alexis. We've had something like this planned for days now. And we've been at it for months now, right? Video calling with you guys has always been what's kept me going on this business trip.
But, Felix, you'll be coming home in another month, right? We don't have to keep it up with all these video calls anymore, right? I'm sorry, but recently they've been a bit of a pain in the butt for me to keep up with. I'm fine with you calling me when I have the time, so I'll let you know then, all right?
Don't say things like that to me, please. You know very well that the number one thing I love about getting to video call with you guys is seeing my little girl. Also, you say that you can call when you have time to, but I know deep down that you will never have time for me to call.
Well, I've just been so busy, okay? And another thing, I have some really sad news to tell you.
Wait, what's the sad news? Did something happen to Abby?
Actually, this one does have to do with your cute little daughter, Abby. I'm sorry to tell you this, but she's already asleep.
What? Geez, I thought you were going to tell me something more serious had happened. So she's already asleep, huh? But it's only 8 p.m. right now.
I told you how yesterday she went over to her friend's house to stay the night, right? Well, according to that friend's parents, they all stayed up until morning and only then went to bed for a few hours. She tried to stay awake throughout the day, but she couldn't keep her eyes open any longer and crashed at 6 p.m. I'm going to let her sleep until tomorrow morning, okay?
I see. If she was really that sleepy today, then I guess I can't say anything about her already being asleep.
I'm sorry. And I think I'm going to go join her now because I'm really sleepy as well. I'm already in bed as we speak and not really in the mood to call one another.
I guess the both of you have been up to a lot lately. Well, that's fine. We can call sometime later this coming week then.
About that actually. I have one last bit of sad news that I have to tell you about.
Oh, what is it this time? I hope you're not going to try getting me all worked up again over nothing.
Actually, my mom ended up getting really hurt today.
What? So your mom is injured right now. Is she going to be all right?
She's not as bad as you'd think, since the doctor said she wouldn't have to stay in the hospital or anything. But she did end up with a broken wrist. I was thinking of heading back to my parents' house for a week now. She can't use one of her hands now, so there's a lot in that house she won't be able to do in order to care for herself. So I plan on being there for a bit to support her and make sure she's not in too much pain.
So that's what happened. Well, if she's not able to handle things on her own now, you should go be with her for a bit. But what about Abby? What are you gonna do about her? Will you ever take some time off school to go back to your parents' house with you?
I think so. That would be the best option I have.
Do you want me to call and see what my parents could do? If you'll only be gone for a week, they could come to the house and look after Abby for you.
You really don't have to do anything like that, Felix. Your parents are 3 states away from us and would have to take a plane all the way out here to be with Abby. Also, this week there's a holiday, right? I'm sure that the planes are all fully booked and they wouldn't be able to get any tickets. Abby will only have to take a few days off school, so I think we'll be fine here.
Are you sure? I could even come home if you really needed me to.
I'm fine. Everything here is fine. I've already been talking with her teacher and the principal about this. They said that they can give her some assignments to do while at my parents' house so that she won't fall behind in her classes. And I'll be around to make sure she's doing everything and gets the help she needs.
Understood. Then I guess I'll leave Abby up to you then. Could you also tell your mom that I hope she gets better soon for me?
Sure, I'll make sure to let her know you said that. Now that you're aware of what's all going on at home, you can see that this coming week we won't really be able to call at all.
Don't worry about it. Please go take care of your mother. But just remember, if there's a chance where you feel like you have some time, let me know and I'll call. That would make me very happy.
Dad?
Huh? Who is this? Is this you, Abby?
Yes.
Why are you texting me right now from an unknown phone? Oh, could your mom have finally gone out and gotten you a phone so that we can stay in touch? I told her before that it's still too early for you to get a phone, but if it's just to stay in touch with you, then that's fine. So is that your number that you're texting me from then?
No, Dad. This is Mom's other smartphone.
What? You're telling me that your mom has 2 smartphones? Has she always had 2, or did she just buy a new one recently and give that one to you?
I don't know. But I was given this one by Mom.
Is that right? Well, I suppose all of that can wait for right now. Now that you have a phone of your own, I can stay in touch with you at all times. I'm so much happier about this now.
Dad, help me. I don't think I can move anymore.
What? Are you not feeling well right now?
I haven't eaten anything for a long time because there is nothing to eat. My stomach has been hurting so much recently and won't stop yelling. I don't have enough power to move anymore.
You haven't been eating anything for a long time now. Why not? You're with your mom and grandma at grandma's house right now, correct?
No, I'm not. I didn't go with Mom.
What? What is going on here, Abby? Hold on a second, please. Let me give your mom a call right now and see what's going on.
No! Don't tell Mom anything about this, please!
Why don't you want your mom knowing about this?
If you tell her that I started talking with you, she'll get mad at me. I have to live in this house by my own now. If I can't do that, Mom said she'll kick me out of this house and never let me back in.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now, Abby. So you're at home right now?
Yes, I'm still at the house.
And what has happened to your mom?
Mom took a really large bag with her and left the house.
What? And she didn't take you with her?
Yes.
Since when did she leave the house and you there all by yourself?
She left 4 days ago, I think.
Ugh, crap. Okay, all right. Abby, I'm going to call my friend right now and have them come over to the house to see you. You've met Uncle Carl before, right? The man with the bald head? I'll have him come out to the house to see you and bring you some food and water.
What about you, Dad?
I'll be coming as soon as I can, Abby. But Uncle Carl is a whole lot closer to you right now, so I'll have him come to see you first. What do you want to eat right now? I can have him bring you some pizza and ice cream if you'd like.
Okay.
And I'll do what I can to get out of work right now and come home to you.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dad. You're supposed to be working.
Why are you sorry for this? You've done nothing wrong, and my only job is being your father right now. I can't be here if you're in trouble and need me, so I'll tell my boss that I'm going home to you. So please just hang on a little longer and then Uncle Carl will be right there. Can you do that?
Yes. I'll be waiting for Uncle Carl to come.
I'll make sure he's there in the next 10 minutes. I'm gonna start grabbing all my things right now before I start heading home. I love you, Abby. Alexis, allow me to talk with Abby right now.
What? Right now? Abby's in the bathtub right now, so you won't be able to call with her just yet.
I don't care. Just call me and then take the phone over to her so that I can hear her voice.
Right now is not the best time. I ordered some online groceries and am waiting outside the house for them to be delivered.
Even though Abby is in the tub right now taking a bath?
My parents are still inside the house, so she will be looked after. I would never leave a girl her age all alone like that.
Then could you please tell me when the groceries are supposed to be delivered?
What? I'm not too sure. The app says another 30 minutes or so, but it's wrong a lot of the time.
Then give me a call once you get them and have brought them in the house.
Wait a second, Felix. What's going on with you here? You just came out of nowhere texting me like you're in trouble. Did something happen with you at work?
I want to talk with Abby on the phone, that's all.
And I completely understand that now. But by the time I get back into the house with the groceries, she'll most likely be asleep. Ever since we came to my parents' house, she's been going to sleep really early.
Then you can call me tomorrow morning when you all wake up, right?
I'll be too busy tomorrow morning. I have to get breakfast ready for everyone and also take my mom to the hospital to have her wrist checked out. I'll be on my feet all morning, so I won't have any time to sit down and have Abby call with you.
All right, enough. How much more are you planning to make up excuses like that?
Huh? What excuses are you talking about?
I know that you never went back to your parents' house with Abby, okay? So tell me, where are you right now?
What are you going on about, Felix? Please don't start saying the most mindless things right now.
I already know about everything, Alexis. You left Abby at home all by herself so that you could go on vacation.
What?
And that's not even a quarter of what's happened now, Alexis. Like I said, I've heard about everything, so there's no excuse that's going to fool me. The sad thing is, this wasn't even the first time you left her home all alone. Pretty much every time I've gone on a business trip, you've left her home all by herself.
No, wait, you're wrong there. Actually, my friend got into a really bad car accident and had to be admitted to the hospital. And in order to take care of her, I've been going to see her in the hospital, that's all.
Your friend, huh?
She lives in another state. I'm sure that you'd never know who I'm talking about.
Why are you not just opening up to me with the truth already?
The reason I lied just then about my mom is because I was afraid you'd be upset about me leaving Abby there all alone. But look, that girl is capable enough now where she can take care of herself without having me around. So she can handle herself as long as it's just for a couple of days.
Are you out of your mind? Leaving a third grader at home all alone for a whole week? All of the food in the house was eaten up by Abby within 2 days. And after that, she lasted 4 before contacting me saying that she was starving and had no energy. She was so malnourished that she couldn't make it up the stairs to her room and had to sleep on the kitchen floor for one night.
What? Why? I made sure to leave her with enough food there.
From what I could tell, you only left her with a few plates of food. And as for one of those plates, she tried to warm it up in the microwave, but when she pulled it out, it was too hot for her and she dropped it all over the floor.
I also made sure to leave her with some money.
And she told me she went and used the money to buy her favorite keychain at the store down the road. She told me that she never knew it would take you this long to come back from that vacation you left her to go on.
Had she just told me she needed food, things would have been all right.
You threatened her by saying if she couldn't take care of herself that you'd have her kicked out of the house forever. She's only a third grader, Alexis. She had no idea what that meant and took it very literally, thinking if she didn't keep her promise to you, she'd really lose her home and family.
I never meant it as a threat.
But this is not about what you meant. This is about what really happened with Abby, and what she's told me is you threatened her.
That girl, she just wants me to get in trouble right now, and that's why she's lying. I never once said to her that I'd kick her out of the house for good.
Even if you didn't, I can't deal with you any longer.
What do you mean by that, Felix?
You and I are getting a divorce. I don't want someone like you living with me anymore, and I will not let you have custody of my poor baby girl any longer.
Hold on a sec. I get that I made a mistake by leaving her there all alone for 1 week, but I made sure that she had a smartphone on her, right? If anything serious happened, I told her to call one of us.
And that is the one good thing you've done out of everything. Because of you threatening her, she was forced to have to talk to me instead about what was going on. But here's the thing, Alexis, that whole excuse about your friend being in a car accident is a lie as well.
It's not a lie.
Well, when I was having a look through your credit card's transaction history, I found that at the beginning of this month you spent some money through a travel agency. I can also tell when you left the house and Abby alone. Because one day all the purchases go from food and such to restaurants and bars and tickets for a theme park. Tell me right now, what the hell is all of that about?
I'm sorry.
Bull!
In reality, I'm on vacation with a friend right now.
And who is that friend?
They're a woman, okay?
Then show me them right now over video call so that I can believe you. I'll start calling you right now with video enabled. You're with them right now, correct? And don't tell me you're not, because I already know the truth.
You're wrong, though, because she had to go to work today, so she left at noon, so she's not with me anymore. And I plan on coming back home tomorrow.
Thankfully, you've both been on vacation together, so send me some of the photos you've both taken together. You have to have some, right, since that's what you girls always do? But if you don't, then I'm gonna believe you've been with a man that whole time instead.
I have not been with any man.
Then show me what evidence you have to prove me wrong here.
I'm sorry.
Why do you keep apologizing to me? Wasn't that just a trip with one of your girlfriends to the theme park to have some fun? I mean, that's what you just told me, right?
I won't do this anymore. Please forgive me, all right?
I see. Then I guess I can't forgive you anymore. Honestly, it didn't even matter whether your friend was a man or not anyway. You leaving our daughter alone like this for a week, and the fact that this wasn't even close to your first time doing this to her already seals the deal. I cannot even begin to comprehend why you thought it was all right to leave a third grader at home all alone to run off and play. Did you stop maturing after you turned 14 or something?
I just wanted a breath of fresh air.
Whatever happened to us taking a fancy vacation after I got back from my business trip?
I'm so sorry. Felix, I really believed that Abby would be okay.
Well, she wasn't, and that's why things have turned out this way, right? Tell me, Alexis, when you were a kid her age, did you get left alone for days on end by your parents?
No.
Then you knew from the very start that what you were doing to her was wrong, yet you went and did it anyway. And not only did you know it was wrong, but you went to great lengths to hide it, threatening your own daughter not to tell anyone or else she'd be kicked out of the house.
I'm sorry. I'll come back home right now. So please, don't think about a divorce just yet.
No, you're not coming back here. You won't ever be again. My little girl had to sit in this house for days, starving, up until the point she was almost dead before she thought it was worth talking to me. All because she was afraid she'd have to live on the streets if she talked to me any sooner. There were still some boxes of mac and cheese, but she can't use the stove on her own, so she had to eat some of the noodles raw.
I am so very sorry, Felix. I'll apologize to Abby, all right?
No, you won't, because you'll never be coming around us again. Honestly, I'm just as angry at myself for never noticing all of this going on sooner. And now my daughter has to live wondering why her mom left her at home for days at a time, never telling her where you were going either. I can't trust you anymore, woman. After seeing how sick she looked when I came home, I bawled my eyes out. I have never had a moment in my life before this where I questioned whether or not I was really meant to care for another human being.
I don't want to get a divorce, so please. I'll do whatever you ask. Please find a way to forgive me for this. I promise that I'll never make any of you sad ever again.
Living comes with a lot of sad moments. We all make mistakes that hurt other people and worry other people. But there are also things that everyone with a right mind would know could cause harm to others. All of those lies that you told me about your mom and about your friend and about being with a girl on vacation, all of those lies were wrong. Just like leaving a little girl all alone for a week and cheating on me with another man. All of that has hurt both myself and my daughter to the point I cannot see you as my equal. You are less human than me, you are less human than Abby, and you're less human than 99% of everyone else on this planet. The last thing I have to say is this. It won't be Abby having to leave the house forever now, but you, the one who couldn't do a simple thing like watching your kid. The day after, my wife came home in a panic due to all the things I was saying to her. I had my daughter go over to my good friend's house where she could relax with him as she got all her energy back. So when my wife came in, her and I could have a very open discussion about what had really happened and what would happen next. I was right in thinking she'd been with a man, as that was the first thing she opened up about. I made sure she understood that what she just did was leave her daughter at home for a whole week so that she could be with another man on vacation. I also got to learn about how a lot of those weekends where she said she'd taken shifts to work were actually days she took to go and see her other man and have an affair. Of course, even if she hadn't been cheating on me, my feelings about getting a divorce would not have changed one bit. It took about 3 months for things like the divorce, parental custody, and the settlement to all be figured out and dealt with before it was all over. Up until the very last moment, Alexis was going on about how she didn't want a divorce and that she wasn't trying to cheat, but things just got out of control. However, honestly, I'll never be able to trust that woman again. Luckily, I was given full custody of Abby afterwards, since I had evidence showing that Alexis could not be entrusted as a parent for her. After the divorce, Alexis went back home to her parents' place, but would hide in her room all day, never coming out to do anything. And a couple of months after that, her parents both finally had enough of her and kicked her out of their house. A little while after that happened, I received a letter in the mail from her telling me that she found a new job and place to live and was finally realizing just how horrible of a person she was. But until my daughter tells me that she's willing to go and talk with her mother again, I will not allow Alexis anywhere near us. I'm not sure how long it will be before Abby wants to see her mother again. But I know very well that it'll take a few years, and that any time having to meet with her before then would only make things worse. Currently, my daughter is doing a whole lot better, and had been back in school enjoying all the time she gets to spend with her classmates. And as for myself, I'm doing a whole lot better as well, being relieved by the fact that I don't have to deal with a lying witch anymore. And I'm sure Abby is feeling the same way about that. Of course, it's going to be a long time until my daughter's heart heals from all the wounds my ex inflicted on her. I've made sure to tell my boss that I can no longer go on any business trips and want to stay at home with my daughter as often as I can to make sure she always has someone with her supporting her. I still have a long way to go before I can get this whole single parent thing down, but with the help of my parents, as well as my best friends, I'll make sure that Abby has the parent she deserves to have, and nothing less than that.
Hey, Paul, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that we got something from your mom in the mail.
Oh, really? You mean she sent us a package or something in the mail? Oh, actually, it's probably because Tina's birthday is next week.
Well, she sent us 2 things, actually. One must be a present for Tina, and she also sent us some really nice steaks. We should have these for dinner. I think that would be really, really nice.
Oh, did she really? That's great to hear. Yeah, we should have those for dinner.
I mean, the steak looks really nice. I bet it cost them quite a bit to get something like this for us.
Yeah, I guess that's my mom and dad for you, always trying to treat their kids to something. Of course, they didn't really have to go so far and get us anything too fancy, but I guess maybe they just like being able to spoil their granddaughter rotten.
Yeah, that's what I think it is as well. Ever since we had her, they've been sending more and more fancy gifts for practically no reason.
Well, Tina's their first grandchild, so I guess I'm not surprised they're going a bit overboard. But I guess that means they're just excited to have a grandchild like we are to have a daughter.
I know, but I mean, does this mean that they're going to keep sending us things like this until she moves out of the house or something?
I could certainly see my parents keeping this up for a long, long time. They are just crazy over Tina and would do anything for her, it seems.
Well, if they ever take things too far, I think we should really say something and ask them to stop.
Yeah, I'm with you there, but that reminds me actually, I have another business trip coming up.
Oh, really? When are you going to be leaving from this time?
I'm gonna be leaving Monday 2 weeks from now, actually.
Okay, so you'll be leaving in a couple of weeks. I got it.
But I'm just glad that I won't have to miss Tina's birthday this time. I know I'll be cutting it close, but I am glad that I'll be able to be there for her.
Of course, that's really great news. You know how excited Tina is to have everyone there at her birthday?
Yeah, I know, and I do really want to be there for her. I just wish my job wouldn't keep sending me away all the time. I mean, I just feel so bad for leaving you at home with Tina all of the time. It isn't fair.
I don't know. I kind of appreciate the fact that you have so much trust in me. It feels good to know that you know I can handle things.
Oh, of course I trust you. I just wish that I didn't have to go away on so many business trips all the time. To be honest, I've even been thinking about looking for a new job lately.
I don't know if that's really a good idea. I mean, you have a pretty sweet deal at the job you have now. So I don't really understand why you would want to walk away from all of this now. Please don't go and find a new job right now.
But I want to find a job that will let me be able to spend more time with my family is all. I'm sure there's a company out there that could pay me well and not send me away so often.
I already said that I don't want you to go out looking for a new job, okay? I mean, really, do you have any idea how difficult it would be to find a new position in this economy? And if you have to take a pay cut, then think about how that's going to affect the rest of us as well. I just really don't feel good about you doing this.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. And I won't go and look for a new job.
I mean, just think about Tina. Kids only get more and more expensive as they grow up, and so I think if this is the price we have to pay to prepare for her future, then so be it. I welcome even more business trips if it means you'd be getting paid more.
Oh, please don't say that. I really would hate to have to leave you all even more. I mean, Tina is already growing up so fast, and it's so difficult coming home to learn that I've missed another big first.
I don't really get what the big deal is. I mean, if you were at work, then you would be in the office all day anyway.
I get that, but at least I'd be able to come home to you both afterwards and get to spend the weekends at home. It might not seem like a long time to you when I'm away, but it really is a long time to me. Especially now when Tina is just so small and growing up so quickly.
Well, it's not that I don't see your point about any of this, but she's just in elementary school after all. I think the more important stuff is still yet to come.
But I want to make sure that Tina even wants me around at that point. I want to know that her dad cares about her. That's why I really want to be able to spend more time at home with the two of you. I just really am getting sick of being sent away all the time like this.
I understand where you're coming from, but the fact of the matter is that your job and you don't really have a choice in the matter. So I think that you just need to suck it up and accept that you're going on this business trip, and that's that.
Right, of course. I guess that's okay, but I just hate seeing Tina's face when she learns that I have to go away again. She always gets all teary and starts begging me not to go away. It breaks my heart. And when I see her get like that, I just really want to leave even less.
Oh, come on. Does our daughter really even say those kinds of things to you?
Well, she never used to say these things, but she's started these kinds of things lately.
Oh, really? Has she now? Well, maybe she's feeling a little lonely herself at home, but maybe I shouldn't say anything more.
What do you mean? Do you know something? Did something happen? I don't know, I thought that Tina was acting a bit gloomy lately, but did something happen at school or something like that?
No, nothing like that as far as I know. I think that she enjoys going to school with all her little friends. But I just think that when little kids get to this age, that they just start to feel a sense of loneliness in their lives.
Huh, you really think so? Maybe I'll just have to keep a closer eye on our daughter then.
Well, don't get too worried, then you'll just become an overbearing parent. Don't worry, if I notice anything, then I'll handle it.
Right, of course. I guess you two do get to spend more time together anyways.
You know, you're just like your parents in how much you like to circle around your children, always worrying about them and always wanting to make them happy.
Well, I don't think I can really deny that, but yes, my family is a bunch of worrywarts. And I guess I really must take after them if you see that much of them in me.
Well, don't worry. At least Tina has me as a parent, so you don't have anything to worry about at all. You just worry about work and I'll worry about raising our child.
I mean, of course, I'm glad that you're always there for her, but you know that I work hard for all three of us, right? And that's why I put up with all these business trips as well.
Of course, and I think you do a great job and should keep it up. Oh, and would you look at the time? I have to go run some errands right now. But please, send along my thanks to your mom for her amazing gift.
Of course, I'll be sure and do that. I'll call you later, okay? Anyways, I should be getting home at the usual time.
Great, sounds good to me. I hope you have a good rest of your day at work, Paul.
Hey Mom, I just wanted to let you know that we got your package yesterday. Thank you so much for always sending something for us, the parents, as well. And be sure to tell Dad that I said thanks for everything as well.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that everything was delivered safely. I'll be sure to pass along your thanks to your dad.
We actually cooked the steaks yesterday for dinner, and man, they were really good. You really went all out for those, didn't you?
Well, we saw them for sale and thought that you all would just love to have something special for dinner one night. Besides, you're always working so hard, and we just wanted to reward you for all the effort that you put in.
Well, it really does mean a lot to me, so thank you so much for that, Mom. I really do mean it. Of course, we'd be just as happy if you'd gotten us something cheaper as well, you know.
Oh, come on, is it really so wrong for a mom to give her son a present like that? Besides, you're taking care of my grandchild now. And it's not like I'm always doing this sort of thing for you, only on special occasions. Well, mostly anyways.
Well, I certainly won't argue with you about getting more gifts, and Tina was really excited to see her present as well. So dinner was a success and your granddaughter is very happy. I'd say you did a good job.
Well, I just know how carnivorous your family is, so I just thought that you might enjoy a nice meal like that. I'm happy to know everybody enjoyed the gifts.
I mean, Tina was so happy this morning going to school. I think she literally must have skipped at least half the distance to her school.
Oh, that girl really is just so sweet. Do you know that? I'm so happy that she liked her present. I had to think long and hard about it.
Well, like I said, I think you knocked it out of the park with that one, but I still haven't let her open it yet. She's just excited about having another thing to open on the actual day of her birthday. But I'll tell her to call you and say thanks when she does open the present. Or what if you just came down for her birthday party instead? I mean, I know you already sent the present ahead and all that, but you always still could.
Oh no, I don't think Tina would want that. She's to celebrate with her family and not have to be on her best behavior like she would if I was there. I think you all should just enjoy the day together and we'll get together another time. How does that sound?
Are you sure, Mom? I mean, I really don't think that we'd mind that at all. You could totally come.
No, it really is fine, Paul. After all, I'm sure that Vanessa would also like to limit the amount of time she has to spend with her in-laws as well. And more than that, Vanessa and I just really don't mesh well together. You know that.
Yes, I suppose you're right about that last point for sure.
But that's okay. What woman does get along great with her mother-in-law? I didn't do so well with mine, that's for sure. But that's why I don't want to impose. As long as Tina's happy to see what I got her, that's really all that matters to me.
Well, okay, Mom, but I really still do wish that you could be there. I mean, it's been a while since you've even seen Tina, right?
Yes, I suppose it has been a while since I did, and of course just thinking about that is enough to make me lonely, but I suppose there's not much to be done. After all, you have all your business trips that you go on all of the time, and Vanessa hardly ever brings Tina over to visit.
Yeah, I do know that Vanessa doesn't really like having to visit you if I'm not around, but even so, she could at least just drop Tina off at your place, but I guess she doesn't even ask you about that. Maybe I'll talk to her and try and ask her about leaving Tina with you every now and then?
Oh, but I'm sure that Tina wouldn't just want to hang out all day with her old grandma, and I would hate to keep her bored all day as well. Besides, it really does take a lot of effort looking after that girl when you're all by yourself, and I want to be able to make sure that I'm doing a good job of watching over her. In fact, I think that Vanessa does such a good job with Tina for how often she's left to take care of her by herself.
Well, when you put it that way, I guess that's true, yeah. I have a lot of faith that Vanessa is capable of taking care of Tina.
Well, that's always good. You need to have that in any marriage. Just as long as I see Tina every now and then, I'll be happy. But it sounds like I might have to wait until you get a chance to bring her over to see me, isn't that right?
I guess so, but don't worry, I'll find a time to do that. Although after Tina's birthday next week, I'll have to go on a business trip. But once I get back, I'll be sure to take Tina to visit ya. Is that okay?
You really are so busy these days, do you know that?
Oh, I know all too well just how busy I am, unfortunately. I feel like at this point I'm only at home for half of every month, really. And lately it's really felt like I'm just not getting to spend any time with my family at all, which has been bumming me out quite a bit, actually.
Yes, well, I'm sure that you being away so often is really tough on Vanessa as well. She basically just gets left at home alone, having to take care of Tina all the time.
I know, but it's just that... Well, Vanessa actually said that she prefers that I go on all of these business trips. I told her I was actually thinking of looking for a new job where I wouldn't have to travel as much, and she told me she didn't even want me to start looking.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose I don't not understand her. After all, she's probably thinking about if you'll be able to provide for everyone with a new job.
That's basically what she was saying to me, yeah. But she just didn't seem to care about how much I miss being with the two of them.
I understand your feeling, but I think you need to acknowledge the trust that Vanessa's placing in you by encouraging you to stick with your job. It sounds to me like you're both relying on each other, which really the least you can ask for in a good relationship.
I guess that you're right about that, yeah. But anyways, my lunch break is gonna be over soon, but we'll be in touch and I'll let you know once I'm back from the business trip.
Great, sounds good to me. I hope that everything goes well on this trip of yours. Good luck with it all.
Thanks, Mom. I really appreciate you saying that. And you just stay healthy and don't catch a cold or anything. Mom? What are you doing calling me at this time? Don't you know how early it is? Is everything okay? It's 5 in the morning. What could you be wanting to talk about?
Oh, Paul, it's just horrible. I just had to call you right away, but Tina's here at my house and she is just in tears. She said that she couldn't get into her house last night and that she had to walk all the way to my house in the dark at night.
Wait, what? Tina really had to do all that? Why couldn't she get inside the house? Where was Vanessa?
Well, that's the thing. Tina said that she could hear her mom in the house.
I'm sorry, I don't quite think that I'm following. So Vanessa was in the house but wasn't letting Tina inside? Why would she do that? What was going on that she wouldn't do that?
Well, Tina also heard a man's voice from inside the house, and it wasn't yours. Then I guess your wife told Tina to wait outside for a little bit.
No. You've got to be kidding me. Please tell me you're lying. Was Vanessa really cheating on me?
I don't really know what else you would call that at all.
But then, what about Tina? Was she okay? Was she hurt walking all the way to your place? Did she really just spend the entire night outside until she got to your place?
Tina's just fine, Paul. Don't you worry about her. I gave her lots of blankets and warmed her up with some tea, and she's looking and sounding much better. She fell right asleep not long after arriving to my place. But you do realize that you live about 3 miles from my house, don't you? That's a long way to walk for such a little girl. Oh, the poor thing.
Well, I'm just so happy to hear that she's safe and unharmed after all of that. Thank you so much for taking her in, Mom. I'll try getting in contact with Vanessa so that I can try and get to the bottom of all this. I'm really sorry to ask, but do you think you could take care of Tina for a little while longer?
Wait a second, Paul. I should tell you that before she went to bed, Tina told me a lot. She told me this wasn't the first time Vanessa had done this. She said that the first time was also while you were away on a business trip. She invited a man over and asked Tina to wait outside for a few hours.
So you mean to tell me that she's been cheating on me this whole time?
Sounds like this behavior's been going on for at least the past year.
I don't believe this. I mean, my wife has been cheating on me for a whole year and I had no idea?
Well, like I said, the first time Vanessa made Tina wait outside for a few hours, but I guess since then she's been putting Tina out for longer and longer, and sometimes even overnight, not letting her back in the house until the next day. But you know how cold it gets in this part of the country. Tina said sometimes she would go on walks just to avoid getting colder.
I don't even know what to say. I can't believe Vanessa would do this to our own daughter. How could she? Well, I don't know what Vanessa has been thinking, but I'm not going to let her get away with treating our child like this.
Of course, I completely understand how you feel about this, and you should know that your father is just as angry about all of this as I am. In fact, your dad actually thought that this other man Vanessa's been seeing might still be at your house. He went over to your place to give him a piece of his mind.
Wait, really? Did Dad actually go over to my place to try and catch Vanessa and this mystery guy in the act together?
I don't really know what you want to do next, but if you're going to try and get a divorce, then you'll need evidence about how awful Vanessa's been, right? I think your dad went over there so that we could try and catch them in the act in order to get that proof for you.
I see. Well, I suppose that I am going to need proof if I want to do all of this the right way.
And don't worry, your dad has the spare key to your place that you gave us, so he won't have any problem letting himself in at all.
I see. Well, I'm just so sorry that you two had to get sucked into all this nonsense like this. I mean, really, neither of you deserve to be a part of this.
What are you talking about? You should know that you don't have anything to apologize for at all. The only person at fault here is your wife. After all, you've been away on business trips for this entire time. You had no idea what Vanessa was doing.
I know, but I never wanted anything like this to happen while I was away from home.
There's really no need to blame yourself for any of this at all. I think the thing we should really be concerned with right now is making sure that Rita's okay after all of this. Either way, I just want you to know that none of this is your fault, and I really hope that you don't blame yourself for any of this.
I know, but I never ever thought that Vanessa would betray me like this. We've had our problems, but I didn't think she was this kind of person. And I guess that's exactly why she was able to get away with all that she did for this long.
Honestly, Paul, you need to stop all of this self-pity nonsense right now. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel upset about this, but you have a daughter to worry about. There are big steps that you need to take for her, and I'm sorry, but you just can't afford to worry about yourself like this right now. Think about Rita and pull yourself together.
But I'm so worried that Tina doesn't want anything to do with me at all because of how much time I've spent away from home. I just feel like she thinks all I do is abandon her to be with her mom. I wonder if she blames me for all of this.
Yes, well, you will have to talk to your daughter about this, but you remember that she was the one who ran away because of how difficult things were at home.
You're right. I wish that I had noticed what was going on sooner so that I could have tried to stop it.
Well, it sounds like Rita was also putting a brave face for you as well, which means that she doesn't want you getting worried either.
You're right. I have to talk to her and try and get to the bottom of all this. And of course I'll have to divorce Vanessa. After she cheated on me and hurt our daughter doing so, I can't ever forgive her for that.
I think that's a good idea, Paul. You just wait for your father to get back to us about what he was able to get in terms of proof of all this. He'll do a good job, though. You have nothing to worry about at all.
Yeah, of course. I really hope that he's able to find something good when he goes over there.
I'm sure that he will. Anyways, you just hang tight and I'll get back to you as soon as I hear from your father. Paul, are you there? I take it that you've heard the news from your mom, is that right?
That's right. I know all about what you've been up to while I've been away on my business trips. There's no way for you to hide this anymore.
I really am so sorry for everything. You have to believe me. But I'm sure that you're so upset with me right now, but I just want you to know that the man I was with, he threatened me. He was always threatening me, and that's why I did what I did with him. I swear it's the truth. He's just so violent all the time, and that's why I always asked Tina to step outside while he was over.
You really think that makes a single difference to me at all? Why do you think that would change my mind?
Please, you have to understand. I was trying to break up with him. I was doing this all to protect Tina this whole time. I was just too scared to actually say anything else. You have to see that I'm a victim in all of this too, right? So please don't leave me. Please just stop all of this talk about divorce. I couldn't stand to lose you.
No, we are getting a divorce. That's not changing.
But I just told you that I was being threatened this whole time. That really doesn't make any difference to you?
So you started cheating on me with some asshole, let him into our house, kicked out our kid so that you could sleep with him, and you still want to pretend like you're the victim? I mean, really, you haven't even really apologized for anything that you've done to this family at all. You just expect everyone to forget all about this and move on.
But I really am sorry. I mean, I really am. You have to believe me when I say that.
Oh, please, I know that this has been going on for at least a whole year at this point. But at least, I guess I finally understand how you didn't want me to find a job that would be sending me away less. You didn't want me getting in the way of all the fun that you were having.
It's not like that at all. I didn't know what to do. Why can't you see that I'm the victim in all of this? I didn't want to be doing this.
Oh, really? Because it sure didn't seem like you didn't want it on the voice recordings that my dad was able to get.
You mean he even recorded what we were doing? But, I mean, anyone could edit those files. They were all taken out of context.
Oh, trust me, I'm well aware of the context. And if all you're texting me for right now is to beg me to stay with you, then I think that I'm gonna pass. The next time you hear from me, it's gonna be via my lawyer with a date for our divorce proceedings. But until then, for your own sake, just leave me alone.
Please don't leave me, Paul. You can't do this to me. Please, don't go.
After that, I stuck to my word and didn't send a single message or answer a single call that Vanessa made to me until my lawyer had everything prepared for our divorce. In the meantime, my parents held on to Tina and I stayed with them after managing to get home early from my business trip. My wife was so distraught over the divorce, but ultimately signed all the papers. She was asked to move out of our house as part of the divorce, but refused and threw a huge fit until the police had to show up and forcibly evict her. I heard that after that she went to go and live with her parents, who reluctantly took her in, hoping to keep her out of further trouble. Vanessa went into heavy debt because of the lawsuit I served her for her affair. She was also made to pay child support since I got custody of our daughter. I really do my best to avoid speaking or even thinking of Vanessa these days, and am only focusing on making sure that Tina lives a happy, healthy life.
Rick, are you there? I was just curious if you were off from work yet. Are you? Are you off from work? Have you gotten home from work? Are you back yet? Oh, please let me know when you get these messages.
Oh, hey, Mom. I actually just got home from work just now. But why is it you want to know? What's up? Is everything okay, Mom? Did something happen?
Well, it's just that I wanted to double-check to confirm that fact that you had actually indeed heard about that news that next month you are going to be marrying Donna. Is that really true? Are you two getting married? I was just curious if you knew about what I was talking about with this and if you had already begun planning for the wedding. How are the preparations coming for your wedding to Donna?
Oh yes, Mom, it is true. Donna and I are going to be getting married. We've already decided about that. We have actually already made plans to go and look at potential wedding dresses the next time we both have a day off work.
Wait a second, does this mean that you're already decided on a venue for the wedding? What else have you decided on about your wedding, and how come I haven't heard anything about this at all yet?
What are you talking about, Mom? I'm pretty sure that I've already talked to you about all of this before. I wasn't really sure what else there was for me to share with you, really.
Well, I know that you did mention some of this to me before, and I know that you did actually mention that you had found a venue, and you also told me about the venue, but I just am not so sure about you all getting married in a restaurant like that. I mean, is that really how you want to have your wedding?
Well, it's gonna be a pretty small affair with only family and really close friends being invited to come and see it, so I really don't think that we mind where it's gonna be held. It should be small and cozy enough for everyone.
I know, but, well, have you told Donna's parents about where you're going to be getting married? Have they said anything about this at all?
Yeah, we told them about where the two of us were gonna get married, and then Donna's parents said that if that's what we wanted to do, then that's what we should do.
So you're telling me that you told Donna's parents about where you two are getting married, and that's all they had to say? Not only that, but you went to go and tell them about the venue before you told me?
I really am sorry about that, Mom. I didn't think that it was such a huge deal, so I guess that I just forgot to pass this along to you. But after all, a wedding is a much more special day for the bride than the groom, I feel. So if it makes Donna happy, then I'm happy.
Are you crazy? You think that a wedding day only matters for the woman getting married that day? Weddings are all about the family. You can't forget about us too. Honestly, I'm really upset that you didn't say anything to us earlier. We really should have known about all of this, and I'm just wondering why you didn't say anything.
I really am sorry about all of this, okay, Mom? I really didn't know that you would get so upset by this. But I promise that once we have dates and times and all of that figured out, you'll be one of the first people that I let know. I just haven't really said anything because I'm not sure that there's all that much for you to even do. I mean, you're more than welcome to give a speech at my wedding, but I just don't think that there's anything else you could really do in terms of prep work.
But even so, I still want to know, and I think as your mother, I have a right to know about all of this.
Oh, well, is that it? You just want to know about what's going on? I wonder if you're not just wishing that I was a girl so that you could have an excuse to insert yourself more into the wedding. But I guess I don't have to worry about that.
But what about the food, the catering? Have you looked into that? Have you made any decisions there at all? I'm just worried what there will be for everyone to eat.
There's really nothing to worry about at all there. Donna and I looked over our choices, and I think we chose a really good group of people to deliver the goods.
But then, you're really telling me that you two don't need any help planning your wedding at all? You two are really just all fine on your own?
Well, we did decide to hire a professional wedding planner, so that has actually made things really easy for us. And we're gonna have them keep the whole thing pretty low-key so that it feels more like a close personal gathering than some huge wedding.
I see. I guess I understand the situation now. Well, if you two are happy with the way that things are being done, then I guess that I don't really have anything to say. And are things going well between the two of you? Are you and Donna still getting along and a happy couple and all that?
Yeah, we're as happy as can be and really excited to be getting married, so things are going well, I would say.
I see. But the two of you still aren't living together, is that right? I take it that that won't be happening until you two are married. Does that sound about correct?
Yeah, that's right. We were gonna have our wedding, then go to the courthouse to sign all the documents, and then after that we'll move into a house together and we'll probably still both keep our jobs as well.
You mean that Donna isn't going to quit working after the two of you get married? Oh, surely your salary alone should be enough to afford everything that you might need, right?
Well, it's not like we even have any kids yet or anything like that, and I think that we both think it would be best to build up some savings. After all, there's nothing wrong with having more money lying around for the day when you really need it, right?
But then who's going to take care of the house and do all the cooking and cleaning?
Well, Donna and I were actually going to split the housework and just try to help each other out when we need it. So we're both going to be keeping our jobs and working, and we're also going to be helping each other around the house.
So neither of you are going to be quitting your job, and you're both just going to help each other out around the house? But surely you're such a busy man with all these things going on in your life, right?
I mean, I am busy, but then again, so is Donna. I mean, you do know that my boss at work is a woman as well, don't you? I don't really think that women should have to quit their jobs or anything like that just because they get married.
Are you sure about that? I mean, is that really what you think? Because I had just always hoped that you would marry some nice young lady who would be able to take care of you.
Yeah, I think that Donna takes care of me really nicely. I mean, you do know that she's a nutritionist, right? So I think she's actually been really good for my physical health, just in terms of how much I've learned from her. I've even picked up running since the two of us started dating. Can you believe that?
Have you really started running since the two of you started dating? Well, I have to say that's a bit shocking, even coming from you. I remember that when you were little, you used to have this little friend named Holly, who I always thought that you were going to end up marrying instead. But anyways, going back to Donna, I guess it sounds to me like she's a pretty active person in her life. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I do remember Holly, and we were good friends for a few years there, but she just wasn't my type at the end. And I just always got the feeling that she didn't really want to be with me in that way either, so we never made any moves.
Oh, so you're saying that you two haven't even given each other a chance then? Well, did you know that Holly actually ended up moving back to town?
Oh, really? No, I actually really haven't kept up with Holly all that much in the past few years, so I didn't know that.
How can you be so cold about all of this? I am trying to tell you about a childhood friend of yours. I mean, don't you care about what's happened to her at all? The least you could do is give the poor girl a call and talk to her every now and then. Don't you know that?
I would have no problem talking to her at all if we ran into each other in person. But there's just not a lot of overlap in our lives, so I mean, I wasn't even going to invite her to our wedding, you know?
Wait a second, is that true? Were you really not going to invite her to your wedding when you're inviting all your other friends?
Yeah, but I'm not inviting all my friends from elementary school, Mom. Holly and I are just childhood friends, and that's it. Anyways, Donna just finished cooking dinner, so I think I've got to go and eat with my fiancé.
Very well then, you go ahead and send Donna my best wishes for me, will you? Rick, are you there? I was just wondering if you had some time to talk to me. Is now a good time? Can you get back to me when you see this?
Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, now's a good time to talk. I can text a little bit right now. What's on your mind?
Well, I was just wondering about Donna. Is she going to be coming today?
No, I don't think she's going to be coming today, actually. We have the wedding this weekend, so I think that she's really busy with that. She's out getting her nails and hair done and whatever else it is that brides-to-be do days before their wedding.
Yes, well, it certainly is true that women have a lot of prep they have to do before the big day, so it's good to hear that she's starting so much earlier.
Yeah, I suppose that it's good she's doing all that now, then. Man, I guess it really does pay to be a man sometimes. Although I have gone to a couple of salons just to make myself look nice for all the photos that are going to be taken and all.
I mean, that really is the least that you should be doing, you know.
What is that supposed to mean? You think that I don't know how to get ready for a wedding or something?
It's just about the wedding, you know. I mean, you ran me down the whole list of things that you were planning to do, and I didn't see even a single speech from you. I mean, aren't you going to stand in front of all your guests and thank me for what an amazing job that I did at raising you?
You really want me to get up in front of everyone and announce that? Is that something you really want? That's just a little embarrassing, don't you think? I mean, do you really want to be the center of attention that badly?
I really don't see what the problem is with you taking that as a chance to thank your parents for all that we've done for you, don't you think?
Mom, I am so grateful for all that you've done for me. You know that. I mean, if it weren't for you and Dad, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. You surely know that, right? I really am so grateful for all that you've done for me, and I can never repay that.
And it is so nice to get those messages saying all of that. But I would like it even more if you say all of that again in front of a crowd of your friends and family.
Oh, come on, Mom. I don't want to make the whole reception dinner into some mushy fest where people can't feel like they can relax. That's why I don't really think that I'm going to be doing a speech or anything like that.
Oh, come on. I don't get why you're making such a big deal about this. You really think anyone will care if you give a speech like that when they're all going to be drinking? You know, I really am starting to get worried about you at this rate, Rick.
Worried? What are you getting worried about? Me? The wedding? What are you talking about?
I'm getting worried about this wedding. Well, not the wedding itself, but this whole marriage. That's what I'm worried about right now.
Are you telling me that you're against Donna and I getting married? Is that what you're saying right now? Because just last month I took her to our house for dinner and both her and Dad were going on about how much you liked her.
I know that we said that, and we really did mean it. It isn't that your father or I are against this marriage at all, but I think that you've gotten a little stubborn since dating this Donna woman is all. I wasn't going to say anything when she came over that last time, but I was thinking about it the whole time, and I just thought that you might want to know.
So you're saying that you think the problem is that my personality has changed since dating Donna?
That's right. I mean, now you really are just like your father, do you know that? And that's why I thought that you might be able to attract someone just a little more old-fashioned. But I guess we both know that Donna's not reserved in the least and is always willing to speak her mind, isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess she does all of that, but I think that all just contributes to why I like her so much.
But you do realize that the both of you are going to have to give up a lot of things if you want to be together, don't you? That is the greatest lesson of any marriage.
I think that Donna and I are really good at compromising, and we're both ready to do that moving forward as well.
But do you really think that you understand just what's going to be asked of you? Because I think that you still have no idea what being married is really like.
I mean, no, I suppose I don't have much real lived marriage experience, but I know that I want to live with Donna. And it's not like I just came to this decision one day out of the blue. I've thought long and hard about this. I'm sure that there will be difficulties in the future, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you've put so much thought into this, but, well, I just want you to know that I'm on your side, okay? So please, also, just never forget that I'm always thinking about you, okay, Rick?
Yes, okay. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it.
Okay then, I just hope that everything goes well for your wedding. I know that you and Donna will do great.
Donna, where are you right now? Don't you know that the wedding is about to start? Come on, I've left a bunch of messages on your phone. Can you please get back to me when you see this? I just hope that you're safe and okay. It's okay if you're freaking out, but can you at least let me know you're all right?
Rick, are you there? I'm so sorry about all of that before.
Donna! Finally, I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. Why didn't you show up to the wedding? I mean, if you didn't want to get married to me, then I wish you would have just said as much. I saw the letter you wrote me, but I just don't understand why you choose to do this today of all days.
My letter that I wrote? Sorry, what do you mean by that? I didn't ever write you a letter.
What are you talking about? Of course you did. You mailed it to me so that it would arrive on the day of our wedding. And you wrote about how you just couldn't marry me anymore and that you wanted to cancel everything. I mean, do you have any idea how upset people were at the wedding? I really do think that the least you could do is apologize to the other guests who showed up just to see us getting married. I'm fine if you don't want to actually get married, but this is really the least you could do.
Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here, but I wasn't trying to avoid going to the wedding, and I didn't write any letter. I was planning on getting ready to go to the wedding and all of that, but then next thing I knew, I was up in the mountains.
Wait, what? What do you mean you were up in the mountains? Is that like a metaphor for something? What are you talking about when you say that? I don't think I'm following.
I mean that I was really in the mountains. I closed my eyes just for a second, and when I woke up, I was in the middle of nowhere. I only just got myself back home right now, and my phone was completely dead, so it's only now that I'm charging it and that I'm getting all your texts.
But then what about the letter? What was that all about if you were up in the mountains this whole time?
I told you that I didn't write any letter at all. Do you really think that I would tell you like that if I didn't think I could go through with the wedding? Besides, I was really looking forward to this. I still am. I want to marry you, Rick.
But then, this doesn't make any sense at all. I'm sorry, Donna. I'm really not trying to doubt you or anything like that. Do you think you might have been drugged or something?
I'm thinking more and more that that might have been what happened to me. Do you really think that someone might have slipped me something?
I mean, just judging from what you told me now, to close your eyes in your own home and wake up in the mountains.
I know, I was thinking about what could have happened all day, but now that I'm back, I think I need to try and think about this a bit more calmly. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you, is your mom there with you right now?
Oh, you want to know if my mom is here where I am right now? No, she isn't here with me right at this moment. I think she's probably gone back to her own place, but I didn't want to go back with her, so I'm just staying here.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good. I think that means that we can talk about this a little more seriously then. You see, the thing is that yesterday, your mom actually dropped by my house, if you can believe it.
Wait a second. You're telling me that yesterday my mom dropped by your house? She didn't say anything about that to me.
Well, that's exactly why I'm worried that it might be your mom who was the one who did this to me in the first place. Do you think you could come over to my place? I think I'd like to talk about this in person with you and try and recall everything that happened to me before I ended up in the mountains. Hey, Rick, are you there? Oh, I hope that you're doing okay right now. I'm still not over the upset from yesterday. I can't believe that girl would do that to you. I just hope that you're not beating yourself up over this or anything like that. Would you like me to head over to your place and make you some food?
No, you don't have to do anything like that, Mom.
But I'm so worried about you, son. I just want to make sure that you're okay. Is that really so bad? Oh, I know what might cheer you up. What if I sent Holly over with some food? You two could talk and catch up. Did you know that Holly isn't even working anymore? She said that she's out looking for work right now, though.
Wow. Well, it sounds to me like you and Holly keep in touch quite a bit then, doesn't it? But do you have any idea what you've done? I mean, are you really going to pretend like you haven't done anything? You don't have any sense of guilt or anything like that at all?
Guilt? What on earth are you talking about? What on earth would I have to feel guilty about? Are you upset with me about something?
Of course I'm upset with you, Mom. I know that you're the reason why Donna didn't show up to the wedding.
Okay, Rick, honestly, what on earth are you even talking about? You can't actually believe that that's true, right? How would that even work?
I already know the whole truth, Mom. I know that the day before the wedding you stopped at Donna's house to drop off some food for her, isn't that right? And I know that you started talking to her about how she and I were going to be getting married.
No, hold on, just one little second. Are you telling me that Donna actually made it back from the mountains?
Of course she made it back. How else would I have found out about all this if she didn't make it back?
Oh, wow. Well, I have to say that I truly underestimated this girl. But you can't just believe whatever she tells you, you know. I'm sure she had her reason for wanting to run away, and now I'm sure she has her reason for trying to come back. You can't trust a word that she says.
I really think that it's the other way around, actually, Mom. You already said that you left her on a mountain when I didn't say anything about that. Besides, you show up on the security cameras for Donna's apartment building clear as day with all the food that you brought her. The food in which, I might add, you must have stirred in some kind of sleeping pills or something. Don't you realize that you've committed a crime, Mom?
No, you're wrong. I didn't do anything at all. I didn't do anything wrong in the slightest.
You really think so? Because I had to take Donna to the hospital after she managed to get back. And they found traces of sleeping medication in her system, and she doesn't have a single bottle of that medicine anywhere in her house. Which means that someone must have found a way to trick her into taking that medicine. Not only that, but Dad confirmed that you said you were going to Donna's to drop off food. Why can't you just be honest with me? Anyways, I guess it really doesn't matter at this point anyway. We've already called the police and they're on their way to arrest you.
Hold on a second, you went to the police over this? I was only trying to protect you. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone at all.
It's far too late to try and come up with excuses now. I just really don't want to hear it at all, Mom. After I stopped talking to my mom, I got messages from her confirming that the police had arrived. It wasn't much longer after that when I found out that she had been arrested for what she did. Although she was given a lighter sentence since Donna managed to get back to her house safely, she still had to serve jail time and had to pay a huge fee to Donna as well. Then, my dad told my mom he wanted a divorce. I don't really know what is going to be waiting for my mom once she serves her sentence, but I know that I'm going to be there for her. My dad and I visited Donna at her house, and he apologized profusely for what my mom had done. Donna didn't blame either of us and still wanted to get married to me after all that she'd been through. Of course, I'm sad that things went the way that they did with my mother, but I'm just happy to have people in life who care enough about me to want to stick with me through anything.